Hey, what's up? Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I am your host, Vaquita Taylor. You guys may know me as Q. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. Welcome, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Give a big shout out to Podcastic and WGOD. Thank you guys for having me. And again, thank you guys for joining me this evening. We have something real touchy going on tonight that we're going to talk about. But it's a couple of ways that you can reach me. If you know anyone that you would like to see on this platform and have a lovely interview, you can reach me on at creativeemotions3@gmail.com. I am a host and a poet for hire, so if you want to reach me, you can reach me as well on that email, creativeemotions3@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram, Q Rising. You can go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Vaquita Taylor. That's VAQUITA TAYLOR. You can call into the studio tonight live, 313-855-5737. You can give us a call. You can give me a call so we can kick it. I want to hear about how you feel about this topic. So tonight I'm going to be talking about unforgiveness and a couple of ways that we can notice that it's happening, that we haven't truly gotten over some things. And I'm going to give you a few things, a few ways to start stepping toward that healing for yourself, because it's very important. Again, I want to thank you guys for joining me. I am going to take a moment to make sure I share. You guys share this with your friends and your family, whether you're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. You make sure you share this. My main goal is to bring that love, to bring that light, and that's what you're going to get on this show. You're going to get these good vibes. You're going to get some good energy, that motivation. Listen, I love you to life, and that's what I want to bring. I just want to bring that hope, that tomorrow is going to be a better day. If it wasn't a good day today, tomorrow going to be better. And so that's really the energy that I want to bring while I'm here. So yeah, I'm going to copy that. I am sharing. Make sure you guys share. Share. I think that's what I did. Thank you guys for joining. Hi, Mr. Smith. Hey, Caprice. Brenda. I see you. YouTube, Facebook, give a big shout out. I always do that. Don't judge me. Don't judge me, Miles.
I will.
Okay, so we're going to get right into this. So unforgiveness. When you think about unforgiveness, I want you guys to just think about mindfulness. Mindfulness. Mindfulness is the quality or state of being conscious or aware of something. So this is the first step to even knowing that you're holding unforgiveness in your heart. Having that mindfulness to say, wait a minute, something not right, or getting triggered, or, feeling some type of way when certain things come up. Mindfulness is a mental state achieved by focus in one's awareness on the present moment while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings and thoughts. So healing and moving on does not mean forgetting. Rather, it was an offense, a disappointment, or just all plain something foul coming from somebody that you're in love with, or friendship. It really don't matter. Sometimes it's things that we've done ourselves, and being able to forgive yourself, or say, you know what, I wasn't in my right state of mind, or I was young when that happened, or, whatever the case may be. So unforgiveness is when you are unwilling or unable to forgive someone for hurting, betraying, breaking your trust, or causing you intense emotional pain. I mean, that's just the plain definition of unforgiveness. So some signs of of unforgiveness is you bring anger and bitterness into every new relationship and new experience, whether this is a marriage, a friendship, no matter what relationship it is. If you see the same things happening, you need to check your heart and see if you're holding unforgiveness from something in the past that's hindering you from moving forward. So this is the main reason why we should check unforgiveness, because we don't want to be hindered. You know, we go through these stages in life so that we can learn from it and we can get better, not to stay stagnant, because stagnant water stank. Have you ever had water just sitting there and you come and it's dishwater or water in your basement, anything that happen, and you got stagnant water, anything stagnant, it stank. And so holding unforgiveness, that can affect your attitude, that can affect your energy, and it stank. And you probably walking around stinking and you don't even know, not like, literally, but you know what I'm saying. Just, that's something that we need to check. So getting into a new friendship and y'all gossip buddies, and now your business done got, over here, and then she done told something that was secret and wasn't supposed to tell or whatever. And every relationship you get in, again, I talked about that last week, that we can overshare a lot of stuff. Some stuff need to stay unless you're willing to deal with it and heal from it. A lot of times we connect with people based off of those experiences, those hurts, and different things like that, and that's not healthy. So if you see every relationship you get into, and this person telling your business and it's messy and toxic and this and that, don't just look at them. Look at yourself. Look and say, wait a minute now, what am I doing? What do I keep doing to get these same results from the different relationships I have? Whether, again, friendship or relationship. You get into relationships and you have trust issues because you're holding unforgiveness because of what somebody else did in the past, and now you're looking at everybody sideways like they coming for you. Those are things that we need to deal with. We need to be conscious and we need to deal with them. Always being so wrapped up in what's wrong that you're not able to enjoy your right now moments. That's huge. Be in touch with your right now. Sometimes we go so far in the past or too far in the future that we can't even be right now. You can't even enjoy right now. You finding ways not to enjoy your right now. Like, well, yeah, but I liked it, but this happened to that. Like, no, why are you trying to find ways or reasons not to like something? Think about those ways and those reasons that you can embrace just being in your right now moment. That's very important. I think a lot of people miss that. We too far. We too far back, or we too far ahead. So just being right now, that can show that, you have a little unforgiveness in your heart. Thoughts of the past that lead to depression and anxiousness. That also shows that, if you have that anxiousness when you think about something in the past or something that someone has done to you, or, bad decisions that you've made, and you get this anxious feeling, your chest closing up, or it's hard for you to breathe and your mind is racing, that means that's something that you need to go back and check. Go back and say, why do I feel this way? What just triggered that? Sit down and count the cost of your thoughts. Like, that's huge too. Just to say, wait a minute, every time I say or think about this, I feel this way. That's self-governing that we all have to do. We can't look for anybody to do that for us. So, just thinking about that. Again, I want to thank you guys for joining me. You can call live at 313-855-5737 if you have a story of some of the ways that you have overcome and you let some things go and you start to forgive. If you want to call in to talk about, that how you overcame or how you start to forgive, or the tools that you use to forgive so that you don't hold unforgiveness in your heart, you can give me a call tonight. So holding grudges, it only makes matters worse. It leaves wounds open and ready for more offense. Unfortunately, unforgiveness turns into resentment, and resentment can cause your blood pressure to spike and trigger stress chemicals that can make you sick physically. Did you know the things that happen outwardly can affect you physically? You wondering why your body tight and tense, your neck hurt, your back, all of these things, but you walking around mad, or you walking around triggered, or you walking around with unforgiveness from things that you had no control over, unless it was something that you personally did and you're feeling that way towards yourself. It's okay to forgive yourself. It's okay. A part of this learning experience is going through what we go through. So forgive yourself. That's a thing as well. So what I'm not saying is force forgiveness. I'm not saying force forgiveness, because you can't. You may never know or understand the thoughts behind why people do what they do, why people think the way they think. And it's not our job to walk around on eggshells with everybody because, we don't want to trigger, or, we don't know what's going on with people. That's why I'm talking to you as an individual. It's up to us to do the inner work so that we are not the people that people have to walk around on eggshells for and with. Work on those things, work on those issues, and be mindful of your past, your trauma, and how it's affecting your future now. And so that's important. So again, you may never know. It's different experiences. You have different beliefs. You have different convictions. Some things bother people and others don't. What is my conviction may not be something that you necessarily think about. You like, oh, that's nothing. And so what's important to us may not be important to another person. And so again, that's checking or just understanding that the things that happen, we don't know the mind behind it. And, again, it's not up for us to try to figure out everybody, but just make sure you're doing your work. So let's be honest, we have some tender hurts and memories that become triggered, and it affected. And this is the motivation for this show tonight. I let you guys know over the last couple of weeks that I will be every week coming with some information that can help you along this journey, saying you don't have to wait till January. Those changes that you want to make and those big changes you think about to come with a thunder and a roar and the rain and it's not. All it's going to take is a renewed mind from you. All it's going to take is the willing heart from you. All it's going to take is you saying, you know what, I'm changing this, and you can do it today. And that is what I'm welcoming you to do. If you are holding unforgiveness in your heart, today you can take some small steps toward your freedom, toward your healing in unforgiveness. So no, I'm not a therapist, but I am a spirit being having human experiences and realizing we have power to allow God to put more super on our natural. Okay? He can put more super on that natural. I am, however, a certified life coach, and I will be taking clients starting in January, plug, so you guys can get with me. Listen, okay? Do the work. We just moving forward in this thing. Really? The sound effects. So experience makes us experts, if you ask me. A lot of people be like, oh, people think you got to go through so much to have experience. Experience is what makes you the expert, in my opinion. So anybody can read and learn from a book, but life is the best teacher and student relationship. Everything that we go through. I mean, I was just talking to my best friend today about this. Like, we may be in situations that we give out this advice, but we're not doing it, but it doesn't make it bad advice. So you can't look at somebody that's been divorced that's given marriage advice, because the experience of that marriage or the failure of that marriage could have triggered some things to say, look, this is what I did. Don't do it this way. And that's good experience. You can't take away from that. Or a person has been in a relationship, an abusive relationship, and may still be in one. That doesn't mean that they don't have jewels to give you. Because if God can use a donkey to talk, okay, he can use anybody in any situation to relay the message. And so I don't discriminate. I chew up the meat, I spit out the bones. And that's just what you got to do. I'm just saying. You don't believe that? I do. Yeah, he believe it. Chew up the meat, spit out the bones. Forgiveness does not mean that you condone what happened or that the perpetrator is blameless. It's making a conscious choice to release yourself from the burden, pain, the stress of holding on to it. Here are a few ways to start your journey to breaking unforgiveness in your heart. Feel your pain. That's number one. Allow yourself to step into the reality of the offense, whatever it was. Allow yourself to feel the emotions. We are taught to be so strong all the time. It's a little stressful. It's a little overwhelming to feel like, okay, nope, I'm straight. Nope, it don't bother me. Nope, I'm good. No, it's okay. It's okay. If it bothers you, it's okay to say, you know what, I'm messed up. Like, that really hurt my feelings. That hurt my heart. I'm talking to women and men. This is not a gender thing. Just saying, I'm angry. I'm mad. I tell people all the time, you know, because I am a positive person, because I, you know, exude positivity. I've always been like this. If you've known me for years, this is natural for me. No matter what I go through, this is just how God made me. Do I go through things? Yes. Do I feel? Yes. Do I have emotions? Yes. Listen, when I'm mad, I'm mad. When I'm angry, I'm angry. The difference is I don't neglect those emotions that I have. I don't walk around and say, I'm angry, but I'm straight. No, I'd be like, look, I'm angry. I'm mad. Like, that made me feel some type of way. Or I'm sad and I cry to release, whatever it is. But that doesn't mean I walk with it, I carry it, and I cradle it. And that's a lot of times what we do. And that's why we're so stressed out and walking around with anxiety, because you're walking around with this strong cape on all the time, and you're not dealing with your emotions. So, number one, feel your pain. Whatever it is, if somebody messed you over, whether it was business, personal, whatever it was, feel that. You know what? That was wrong. I feel some type of way. I learned from this. Always learn from your pain, because there's always something to learn. Like I said, we're taught to be so strong, and it doesn't do anybody any good. So hurt runs deep. Acknowledge the pain that's real to you. It may not be real to anybody else, because what I can say, you know, hurt my feelings. Somebody are like, girl, that wasn't nothing. That ain't what they meant. Don't let nobody do that. If you felt some type of way about it, acknowledge how you feel. And if you're mature enough, you will face these type of things head on without being offended. This offense is ridiculous. Hey, Fred. Hey, Bestie. Hey, Rod. Hey, Meek. So, we walk around with this offense like everybody owe us something. People can't read your mind. So you can deal with how you feel. Just deal with it. The pain is real to you, so just deal with it properly. Listen to your body. Listen to your mind. Listen to your heart. Listen to your spirit. When you feel something in your body, listen to it. Stress, unforgiveness, you know, all of this anxiety, it started messing with your heart. You know, it messed with your body. You get to shaking and all. Listen to that. Don't be talking about, I'm straight, and you over here shaking. You spilling your drink because you shaking. I'm straight. No, you're not. And it's okay. It's okay to deal with that. So listen to your body. So give it a name. When you think about the feelings and emotions that you have that you're holding this unforgiveness, whether it's disappointment, like I said, from what you've done or allowed or others, be honest about the feelings and name how you feel openly. It helps. Remember, this is for you. It's not necessarily for the other person. It's for you. So you may feel guilt, sorrow, shame, confusion, anger. You feel all of these things and you don't know what to do with it. You holding it in thinking it's going to pass by, and it don't. It go to a little crevice in your mind. Soon as something happened and it triggers, then it's back. It's back in the forefront, and you still have to deal with it. And so I'm encouraging you today, if you have offenses, because offenses turn into unforgiveness, it turns into resentment, stop it, nip it in the bud, and deal with things. Deal with it. Deal with it by making that phone call, sending the email, send the text, go to therapy, write it down. If you don't feel like you can go to the person because it's so far back that you know, whatever the case is, you can make that small step by giving it a name. I'm angry. I'm offended. I'm hurt. This hurt. That hurt. I'm sad. I'm mad. Whatever it is. Because once you do that, the enemy don't have no more control. Because you know what? When we bottle all this energy in, all these emotions in, it's coming out on somebody. Who? Who is it coming out on? Is it coming out at work? You going crazy? You nutting up on people? Is you giving it a name at home? You being verbally abusive? You cussing people out? You being nasty? It's coming out. So these are things that we have to do. We got to do this self-work, y'all, and it don't have to wait till January. You can do it right now. These things that I'm talking about, you can do it right now. So let it out. Keeping these feelings hostage, but not letting them go, is hurting you more than you realize. It's hurting you. Hi, Lucretia. Thank you for joining me. Hi, Kaya, Mika, Uzama. Thank you guys for joining me. Let's talk about this. You guys can call in as well. 313-855-5737. If you can say, you know what, I have overcome this. Lucretia saying she write down her thoughts. That's good. Write down those thoughts. Get the journal. Write it down. Burn it up. Long as you get it out. Stop holding this stuff in. Stop. It's hurting you. So if the memory is too difficult to confront, take the necessary steps, like I said, to go see somebody. Go get a therapist. It's okay. Write it down. Sharing. Sometimes, wait a minute. You can share, but you need to be mindful of who you're sharing your business with, because too many opinions will make a monster, and you be walking around with 5 heads, don't know what you're doing, don't even know what you think, because you're taking on the opinions of others. So get you somebody that you respect, somebody that you know got a good head on their shoulders, because a different perspective is always good. Because we can be a little bit too emotional, or again, holding in all this unforgiveness, and so we're real sensitive, and then we're really on edge, and so everything somebody say, we have an issue. So it's good sometimes to share, just to get someone else's perspective. So the next thing I want to talk about is turn your focus. Turn it around. Because a lot of times we point the finger, but we got 3 pointing right back at us. And so if you turn your focus, then you'll have a level of compassion. So put yourself in the other person's shoes. This is not making excuses. Do we have a caller? We have a caller. Hi, welcome to Creative Emotions. Who am I speaking with?
Lucretia.
Hi, Lucretia. Thank you so much for calling in, beautiful. How are you?
Hi there. Fine.
Thank you so much for calling in. So, have you had a situation that you had to forgive, and how did you do that?
Yes, I did. Actually, I'm currently dealing with it now with my children's father.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the way I had to overcome it, I started to pray a lot more.
Okay.
I actually decided to seek therapy.
Good.
Because I said to make sure, start looking at me first, and how I was dealing with the situation. And,
that's good.
So I just decided when me and him when we can't talk verbally, I will send messages now, text messages.
Okay.
Because I can make it very brief.
That's good.
You know.
That's a good way. Do you make it brief?
Yes.
Have you
straight to the point.
Have you forgiven him?
Yes.
You know, sometimes we have to forgive without never receiving an apology.
Yes.
Would you agree with that?
Yes, I do.
Because everybody's not in the same space, you know, and that was my next point, just kind of understanding where people are in their journey, and if they even know that they are hurting you, and you know, are they even capable of being aware of that, or us asking this question to ourselves to say, why do I keep accepting this type of behavior? You know, so that's turning that energy back on yourself. So have you had more peace since you've been going through this journey?
Yes. Since COVID hit, like I said, I had a lot of time to really reflect on my ways and how I was doing things too.
Yeah.
Letting that bitterness, take over my judgment because of things I was going through with him. And so I knew that he was the primary factor of why I was behaving the way I was. So I had to work on forgiving him for his behavior.
Oh, that's good. That's so good. Yes. I'm so glad that you are taking.
And you always help me too,
Amen.
And so positive and everything, and how you spoke to me.
Amen. I'm so glad that I was able to be that in your life, and you know that I am that in your life. So whenever you need me, I'm definitely here for you. I'm glad you tuned in tonight, and I thank you for your input as well.
Absolutely. I tuned into Fathers Matter too, because they do. I do allow him to be in their life, my children's life.
Yeah.
Too. So that was a good topic too.
Amen. So stay tuned. Listen, I got some things. We going on this journey together. So you stay tuned and keep following, because we going somewhere. You hear me?
Absolutely. I got my neighbor watching too.
Amen. All right, cool. Thank you. I love you to life,
okay.
and keep tuning in, okay?
I love you. Okay.
All right. Bye. Thank you so much for calling in, Cree. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. We're going to be talking about things that are going to be effective to changing our lives for the better right now. You can do it right now. Just take one small step. So the next thing that I was going to say is turn your focus. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. This is, like I said, not making excuses for the behavior. I'm not saying that you got to be like, oh, whatever. And it's not our job to figure out if people need therapists and what they're going through and none of that. But it's considering the person or persons and their life and what could have led them to these hurtful actions. A lot of people don't have the necessary people in their life, so they have to work a little harder, to figure this thing out. So they may have to go through a lot more experience that we don't know about. And like I said, it's not our job to figure it out, but it is our job to show a level of compassion, how God shows to us. Like, listen, the mercy and the grace that God show, honey, please. A lot of us ain't no telling. Ain't no telling. So the next thing I'm going to say is take the action. Take action. Start with the small things. Every step helps, because the ultimate goal is to have the best human experiences before we leave this earth. It's not really about money all the time. It's not about chasing things and dreams and all this kind of stuff. Because at the end of the day, you need to be a human being, not always a human doing. And that's what's happening. That's why we're not showing that love and that compassion. We're doing. We're human doing and not human beings. Come on, bring it in. Bring it in. What's more important? More important is leaving that legacy and being someone that people can say, you know what, you helped me. Not, I seen you out here hustling, getting that money. You out here getting that money. Everything is not about money. Everything is not. And so, again, before we leave this earth, these are just some of the things that can help us along our journey, not taking the baggage of unforgiveness. Unforgiveness is a baggage. It is huge, it's heavy, and it's not ours to carry. God tell us to come. He say, all who are heavy laden, you got a burden, drop it off and keep it moving. Stop carrying it with you. So my next thing is have patience. We got to have a little patience. Have a little patience. Forgiveness is not a quick fix, right? Although smaller transgressions can happen pretty quick, right? You can be like, you know what? I ain't like that. And they be like, oh, I'm sorry. You know, sometimes we can get those sorries up front, but a lot of times things happen within our childhood that we could not control. Things that listen, our hands are up. We had nothing to do with it. We don't even know why and what or whatever. You know, I found out something personally, a personal thing for me. I used to come and hug my mom like all the time when I was younger. I've always just been huggy, luggy. You know me. If you know me, you know I'll give you a hug. Like, hey, how you doing? You know, whatever. So, or I give you dap now because, you know, COVID, you know, you get the bam. But I used to come and I used to hug my mom, and she would unconsciously say, go on, Quee, you know, go on, what you know. But I don't even think she thought about it. But I personally looked at it like rejection. And you don't even know that you may be doing that to your children, and you don't even know it's a small little form of rejection that can snowball into a problem with them. Now they overdoing it or they looking for it everywhere. And so I noticed that when my daughter got older, that she would do that to me. But going back to my mom, I had a talk with her, and I'm like, Mom, why you know, I always do that and whatever. And she expressed to me that her mom never like really hugged her. She wasn't the real huggy, touchy, feely type. And so it was like, oh, as an adult, it makes sense. It doesn't mean that she didn't love me. It doesn't mean that, you know, at that moment I couldn't get that hug or that, you know, they just be wanting to get put in a headlock or whatever. The kids, you know, they just want to play around. But she didn't get that affection. And so she may not have seen it to be important. But you have to understand the person that you're dealing with, again, with your children, the relationship that you're in, the different love languages, you know, the love languages that they have. So I noticed that I started doing it with my daughter. Like, she would come over at, like, the oddest times. And I'd be like, girl, what is you doing? Move. And then I was like, oh, my God. Like, I'm doing the same thing that my mom was doing to me, and I wasn't even thinking about it. And so I made that correction quick. Like, oh, my daughter, 18 years old, I still grab her, kiss her on the cheek. I'm kissing her. I'm running. We tickling. I'm doing all that. You getting all that from me. You know what I'm saying? And it's because I know that I was that person. And so knowing, like I said, your children or your spouse or, you know, whatever, knowing their love language, you can move effectively. So that's just something to know. A lot of things that happen, it is so like deep down the line that you may not even get to the source. But just understanding like, okay, something is off. So if you can have that conversation, but take the action. And like I said, writing a letter, getting a therapist, and just taking all the steps that you can take. So blaming is not healthy. It's a way to discharge pain and discomfort, but the negativity still kicks around in your mind and your emotions and your actions. You know, when you're having a conversation with somebody and your eyes may go up in your head like, yeah, like, okay, you know, because you have those issues that are floating around in your mental. You have those issues that are still affecting you that you haven't dealt with, or you're blaming. Blaming is not healthy. It does not help. The only thing we can do is look at our part in a lot of the situations. We are not Dr. Phil. I'm not trying to Dr. Phil everybody I talk to. I'm not trying to go that deep. It's not my job. It's not your job to think that you can heal everybody, to think that you can fix everybody, you know, and it may be an unconscious thing for some people, like myself. being an empath or being able to feel people's energy and being able to feel people's hurt and being able to feel being sensitive in the spirit. But it's not your job to take on that stuff. So let it go. Don't take it on. When you leave people, leave that energy right there, because that you just don't even know what you can take in. So like I said, blaming people, it don't help. It's their fault why this happened. It's my mama's fault why she didn't do this. It's my father's fault why he didn't do that. It's my wife's fault because she ain't never doing this. It's his fault because she ain't do. It's my, it's, no. All we can do is have self-accountability. Look at what you're doing. Look at what you're saying. Look at the energy. Look at your tone. This is all about the person that's watching this, taking that accountability and making the necessary changes. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching on Instagram right now, this is just a live of the actual podcast. So go ahead over to YouTube, follow my YouTube page. You can go to Facebook. You can go to Creative Emotions 4. I thank you guys so much for watching. On Facebook, I see you guys agreeing and someone saying, talk to someone you can trust. Yes, right. Real talk. Yes, that's all I'm doing. That's all I want to do is bring it. Real talk. And you guys can call in, again, 855-5737. So practice being mindful of your feelings, your emotions, the promises to yourself. This is one thing that's a deadly, silent, creeping killer. The promises that we make to ourselves. When you make these promises, you have to be realistic. You have to count your cost. You have to look at your life. Is your life lining up with these promises? Are these promises reasonable? Does it fit with your family? If you have a family, it's not just you anymore. Does it fit with your future? Does it fit with your purpose? Are you running from something? A lot of times, these promises that we make to ourselves, I ain't gonna never do this, I ain't gonna never do that, and we hold on. And listen, even the way I just said that was negative. I ain't gonna never. You know what I'm saying? These promises that you feel like you holding and you strong on, it bring a negative energy sometimes. So you got to be aware of that. Having standards, having boundaries, that's what keeps us in a good space, right? Having your standards and your boundaries will keep people where they need to be, keep you where you need to be. But making these promises, because I'm going to come up one day, and when I get this age, and this going to happen. Okay, what happens when you get that age? Are you now depressed because you done made this promise to yourself without making the necessary changes or adjustments to get to what you said to yourself? Like, I want you to think about that. Think about that. That's the thing. So be patient with yourself. We all learn from our pain and discomfort. Be patient. This ain't gonna happen overnight, right? I'm bringing these different topics and different discussions so that we can be accountable for ourselves, so that we can be human beings. Like, just being still, being in the moment, and aligning yourself. Everything that I'm going to bring to you will set that alignment in order. What's your alignment? What do you know? What do you know about yourself that will get you in that alignment? If you don't have a relationship with the Lord, I encourage you, have that conversation. Find you a place of worship. Listen to some encouraging words that will feed your spirit, not these songs that have you mad at the world. We be getting set up. These songs like, ain't never gonna let a nigga do me like, you know what I'm saying? You getting hype off of what? Like, use that energy to pour into your spirit, man. Our spirits are walking around thirsty. They thirsty. They like, listen, okay, you done ate enough. You burping and you farting, you boo-booing, you smoking and you drinking, you having sex, you're doing all this stuff. Your flesh is like tired. And your spirit just need a little bit of attention. So if you don't have a relationship with the Lord, I encourage you to have that conversation with your Holy Spirit. Have that conversation. Get off the phone. Get off the social media. Quiet yourself. Have that conversation. Find you a place of worship that works for you. Find you a place that you can vibe with. You know what I'm saying? Find a place where you can be like, okay, you know what, they speaking truth and I need truth. Not just no place where you about to hear hooping and hollering and you leave doing the same things you did when you got there, okay? All that ha. You're not about to leave with the ha. So be real with yourself. Don't just go to a place of worship to say, I've been. Go searching for something that works for your spirit, that works for your soul, right? Listen to music or listen to things that feed you. In this season, I am encouraging everyone, feed your spirit. Feed your spirit. The flesh is fat. Enough. We can talk physically, we can talk internally, we can talk every area of it. We doing what we want, and it's affecting our spirits. So I'll leave y'all with that. I ain't gonna bang it over the head because that's a journey too. Because ain't nobody perfect, right? But we can make a conscious decision to say, you know what? I want to be a better person, so let me watch what I say. Let me watch what I'm listening to. Let me watch who I'm around. You know what I'm saying? How you feeling about the people that you're around. Let me get this unforgiveness off of me. Because it's heavy. Unforgiveness is heavy. So we can get it off you. So God, forgiveness is not based on our works. He tells us to forgive. He tells us to. So I do got 2 scriptures, that stuck out to me because it's a lot of scriptures about unforgiveness. It's a lot of scriptures about telling us, to love our brother. You slapped on one cheek and you're supposed to turn the other. I don't know who doing that in 2021, but that's what the Bible say. You're supposed to get slapped and turn the other cheek. But I'm going to read the NIV version. Leviticus 19, 17, and 18. So it say, do not hate your brother in your heart. Rebuke your neighbor frankly so you will not share in his guilt. That means handle that situation right then and there. Why you gonna go in the house and you mad? Now you slamming doors and you slamming doors and you mad. Like, deal with it. Deal with it frankly. Deal with it right then and there if you can. Do not seek revenge or bear a grudge against one of your people, but love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord. That's what he said. I ain't say it. He said it. It's in your Bible. If you got a Bible, if you believe, it's in your word. Another one I looked at was in Mark. Which one was that? Mark 11:25. It says, and when you stand praying, if you hold anything against anyone, forgive him, so that your Father in heaven may forgive you your sins. So a lot of times we hold up our own blessings because we're holding unforgiveness. It's important. All of this, everybody manifesting and I say this but you walking around with unforgiveness in your heart. You're walking around nasty to people. You walking around with this chip on your shoulder. It just said right here, and when you stand praying, because everybody say, oh, I'm praying, I pray. Well, if you praying, if you want those prayers to go a little bit above this ceiling, then these are some of the principles that we got to take in place. Forgive and you shall be forgiven. That's right, brother. Listen, you praying, you being all deep, being extra, you fasting and, holding yourself or whatever it is you're doing, but you holding unforgiveness. This just say, forgive, so your Father in heaven can forgive you. So the same thing that we put out, we should be wanting it back. So if you're not putting out that good, then now is the time to check that. Because anything that I put out, I want it to come back. I want to meet great people. So I want to be that great person. I want to meet people that are encouraging. So I'm going to be that encouraging person. I want to meet people of faith that really believe what they believe. And I'm going to be that person to test it and fall and get up and do what I need to do so that I can every day try to be the better version of myself. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do. Be the better version of yourself every day. Every day that we're allotted is a moment. It's an opportunity for us to be like, you know what? Yesterday, I had road rage. Today, I'm going to count. 3, 2, 1. I did that. I don't have road rage now. I don't. Now, my children, and I don't use profanity. So I'll be in the car like, are you kidding me? They like, really, Mom? I'm so white. I can't say, I'm not going to say, I'm not going to be racist, like white with it. But I say, really? Like, that's my extreme. So I was coming up off the freeway. And, like, the people that are coming on the service drive supposed to stop. So I'm coming up, and the guy just keep going. I beep the horn. He get mad at me for beeping my horn. Listen, people, the horn is to be beeped. How you gonna get mad at me for beeping my horn? Because I'm trying to show you, like, hey, I'm over here. So I beeped my horn, and he beeped his horn, and he looked at me. So I pulled over, and they got on the side of me. Nah, I'm not about to not look at you, but I ain't about to start nothing either, because I ain't scared. I ain't did nothing to you. So I rolled my window down. I said, 3, 2, 1. He literally seen me counting. So by the time I looked at him, he was smiling. I said, you know that was a stop sign, right? He like, yeah, I know that was a stop sign. But if I would have been like, you know what I'm saying? That whole different demeanor, that would have been a whole different situation. So just, calm down, relax, and make sure you do something different every day. Every day we get to be different. Be different. Be better. It's just that simple. And it ain't that deep. We can do little small things all the time. Okay? Look, so road rage, that's a thing. Cussing your kids out, it's disrespectful. And then you wondering why they cussing Miss Shirley out at the school. Why? Because it's the energy that they're around. So we got to be mindful of where is that coming from? Why are you so angry? Why do you feel like, cussing somebody out is gonna make that difference, no matter who it is? Is that something that you hold it in? Is it unforgiveness? Did you feel like I got cussed out when I was younger, so now I'm cussing everybody out? That's a thing too. Like, really check those things so that you can be your best version. Listen, he talking about beep, beep. So as I close this up, I just want to encourage everyone. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in with me. I want to thank you so much. I want you to meet me here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. I am coming with the heat. That motivation. That motivation is the heat. Okay? The jewels and the tools. Listen, next week, we're going to be talking about organization in your home. When we're talking about closets, clothes. We're talking about getting the house in order, right? Because that affects your atmosphere. Don't think it don't. You see that stuff on the floor, pick it up. After dealing with people, after living with someone that had that issue, never again. Listen, I don't care. Clean up. I live with it. I live with somebody that didn't see, never again. So my kids be like, all right, Ma, nah, it's just a piece of lint ball. I don't care. Pick it up. So our atmosphere is important. So next week, I want you guys to tune in. I'm going to have a great guest with me. She wrote a book about it. The different colors, the different organizations, and different things that we can do to change our atmosphere every week. I'm coming with the heat. Did I just make a jingle? Every week. Listen, I want you guys to meet me here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Next week, we will be here. Listen, if this helped one person, it has done its job. I thank you guys so much for tuning in with me. Meet me here next week. All right? Don't be late. Peace.